So you wanted a longer lasting Botox. Well, there's a new FDA approved toxin on the market that we've all been waiting for quite some time, and it's finally here. It's called Daxxify. And right now, it has the longest duration of action compared to any other toxin on the market right now. But is this new toxin for you? For instance, if you've never gotten Botox before, would you want your results to last longer? What if you didn't like it? Should we be using this newer, longer lasting toxin to treat all the areas of the face that we treat with Botox? Let's take a lip flip for an example, a treatment I do all the time.
Most people love the effects of their lip flip because it enhances their upper lip without the use of any filler.
But it doesn't last long compared to other areas that we treat. People want their results from their lip flip to last longer. But if the toxin is longer lasting, it's likely stronger. And if it's stronger, it can potentially cause more side effects from the lip flip where you may not have proper muscle function. Daxxify just got FDA approval and it's going to be available at some clinics next year in 2023. However, I've had the pleasure of trying it out and I can now treat patients if you want to try it out. But first, I'm going to tell you what I think from a non-biased review. I don't work as a trainer or speaker for any of the companies that make these toxins, so no bias here. I have no conflicts of interest. I'm going to tell you who I advise it for, how long it lasts, and how it compares to all the other toxins on the market right now. So let's dive in.
Here's a history of neurotoxins and their cosmetic use in the US. Keep in mind, the medical industry has been using botulinum toxin for medical reasons years before cosmetic use. First to the market was Botox, first approved in 2002 for cosmetic use, manufactured in Ireland. Second was Dysport, approved in 2009, owned by Ipsen, a French company, manufactured in Wales. Third was Xeomin, approved in 2011, manufactured in Germany. Next, a Korean toxin called Nabata, manufactured in Korea and rebranded to the US in 2019 as Jeuveau. And now we have Daxxify, which was just recently approved this year in September 2022. Daxxify is the first toxin that's exclusively manufactured in the US in Silicon Valley, California by a company called Revance. So the key difference with Daxxify, which makes it unique from all the other toxins on the market right now, is instead of your frown line area lasting 4 to 5 months, Daxxify has shown to give a duration of 6 to 9 months. And with this duration, you may only have to get treated twice a year instead of 3 to 4 times a year. The glabella is the most popular area that's treated with Botox by women and men because it relaxes the muscles that cause people to frown and look angry. Treating the muscles in this area can make your eyes feel and look more open because you're relaxing or temporarily weakening the muscles that are the brow depressors. This is before and after treatment of a glabella with Botox, and you can see she can't frown as hard as she could before.
One thing I can say is that most people who love treating this area all wish their results would last longer, and some of them don't want an ounce of movement out of their brow. Botox or any other toxin will gradually wear off, and with time, more and more muscle function is gained, and then people start frowning again, and they really hate frowning. I feel that sometimes people think that after being treated for many years that they're becoming resistant to Botox, when in actuality, they're not really becoming resistant to Botox. It's just that they've gotten so used to being paralyzed that when any movement comes back, they feel it's not working. So I like all of the toxins and I've used all of them, but you'll find the most popular toxins are Botox and Dysport because they're the biggest companies that have the most capital, with Allergan, the makers of Botox, leading the way. Botox and Dysport also both have rewards programs where you can earn money to save on future treatments. So I'm not married to any particular toxin when I treat myself. I've personally studied their longevity.
I have 2 videos out with split face studies. One is on Botox versus Jeuveau, and the other is Botox versus Dysport.
So what I like to do is study each toxin and find out what differentiates them from each other so that I can advise you on what I think will work best for you. So I concluded that Botox is good for first-time people who are really kind of apprehensive and have never tried a toxin and want to start out slow and feel comfortable going with the longest lasting toxin that's been on the market. Dysport is good for people who have stronger muscles and want a stronger toxin because it seems to relax the muscle more than Botox can. I know another doctor who did a split face study on himself with Botox and Dysport and got similar results to my split face study video. The Dysport side was more paralyzing and He also polled providers on Injectors Lounge to ask them which toxin is the favorite amongst cosmetic providers.
Injectors Lounge is an IG account where we, as cosmetic injectors, chime in to give our opinions, and it's intended to be completely bias-free to get an idea of what our preferences are without the conflict of interest from injectors who get paid to speak for companies that manufacture fillers and toxins. As you can see from this post, if you are a paid trainer of a toxin that was fared poorly, please visit www.idon'tgivashit.com. Despite that Botox is the most popular, when the audience of injectors took the poll for the best all-around toxin, Dysport was the preferred choice.
I have patients who have strong muscles that I switch from Botox to Dysport, and they love it. They feel it does a better job at paralyzing their strong muscles. We've also known that Dysport kicks in faster than Botox or any other neurotoxin, not including Daxxify, by the way. We're going to talk about how long it takes for Daxxify to kick in later. So if someone has a wedding or an event to go to and they forgot to book their Botox appointment, Dysport can be used as it has an advantage over Botox because it has a quicker onset of action. Vitamin and Jeuveau are similar to Botox, except they're not as well known. In my opinion, their motto is kind of like, we're just as good as Botox, but because Botox and Dysport, the companies that make them, have a lot of money because they were the first two out on the US market, they're the most popular, with Botox leading the way because it's been out the longest and Botox has the best name recognition. And name recognition is a big part of why it's the most popular toxin because people ask for it. Example, can I book an appointment for Botox?
They also do a really good job with marketing. I'm sure you've seen the commercials, or maybe you've used their reward system called Ally. There's also Botox Day, which just passed, where you can buy gift cards and save $50 off of treatment.
Comment below if you've ever purchased these popular gift cards from Ally. So I treated a few patients last week with Daxxify to the frown lines and to the forehead area, and I don't have their full results yet.
But you can see this is after 3 days, so the toxin seems to take effect pretty quickly to the glabella or frown line area.
Now, here's the thing with Daxxify. We know it's approved for the glabella, and people want to be frozen to this area a lot of times. Most people think it doesn't look odd to freeze this muscle that makes someone look angry because if you can't frown, it's okay. Crow's feet, same thing. If you can get better longevity to your crow's feet, that's fine if the toxin lasts longer to these areas. But the most difficult area to treat, our frontalis, our only brow elevators, the muscle that raises our brow that is responsible for creating forehead lines, this is the area you don't necessarily want to freeze. And you want to be very conservative in people who either have a
lower brow position, moderate to very hooded eye shape, and a short forehead. By the way, I discussed the Botox brow lift in relation to eye shapes and brow positions and Botox to treat horizontal forehead lines in this video, so if you need to review that video after, feel free.
So here's what I think about Daxxify. If you've never tried any toxin, you may be better off trying out Botox or Dysport as they're shorter lived. What if you don't like it? Or you like it, but you want to lessen the dosage and have more natural movement. I do have patients that work as actors and they need to have some movement. They don't want to look too frozen a lot of times. But if you've been getting Botox or any other toxin done and you love it, but you just wish your results would last longer to your frown lines and crow's feet, I would maybe give Daxxify a try. Should we use Daxxify for lip flips? Although it may last longer, which is what every woman would want for her lip flip, would it be appropriate? Because if it's stronger, it may cause more loss of muscle function, where you could be drooling. And if you've gotten a lip flip before and been bothered by the weakening feeling, comment below and let me know. So when it comes to Daxxify, the studies have given us guidelines for certain areas like the forehead and the crow's feet, but they don't have FDA approval for any other area besides the glabella or frown line area. And we're all going to be playing around with it, experimenting and learning. At least that's what I'm going to be doing. I also think that the makers of Botox are going to try to study Botox at a higher dosing to compete with Daxxify. So how do you feel about this new toxin? Would you try it? Or are you happy with the longevity of your current toxin? I'll be doing a split face study to test out the longevity of Daxxify compared to Botox and Dysport. So make sure to subscribe to this channel and turn on the bell notifications because it's going to take a few months for me to have the results. I'm also going to try a lip flip using Daxxify on myself to experiment because almost everyone wishes their lip flip lasted longer. Maybe I'll need some lip flip models, so make sure to tune into my community page on YouTube, my YouTube stories, and my IG. But don't forget, to watch these next.